What we got there?
Chevette oil puddle.
So, are we ready to go to Raceweek?
No.
When do we leave?
Saturday.
And what day is it?
Today's Sunday.
So we got roughly 6 days.
Yeah. So yeah.
All right. So we thought we were sitting good. We even experimented with some race gas and made a couple little hits out here in the country, and we're feeling pretty good about life.
Yep.
Polished the wheels, waxed the car.
Had the Raceweek trailer packed. We thought we were good to where the only thing we thought we had left was to change the oil in the Chevette and change spark plugs.
Which was just preventative maintenance, I feel like.
Yeah.
After we got done with our little cruising session last night, we put about 15 miles on it. They were pretty hard miles, but they were 15 miles.
Yeah.
We stopped, and there were some spots in the driveway, and then we parked it in here and come out this morning, and
well,
we got oil everywhere.
The spots in the driveway were more like a little puddle in the driveway. And then, yeah, we have that in the floor of the shop this morning.
So, I was thinking, we had a little bit of an issue with it before. I was thinking it was the distributor gasket because it was all wet and there was actually some oil sitting on the back of the intake at one point. So we thought that's what it was. So we pulled the distributor on it, put a new gasket on it, wiped everything off, cleaned it all up. We let it sit here and run for quite a while and didn't have any other issues, we didn't think. And then we come in this morning and we got issues. So we have narrowed it down to either the rear main seal or the back of the oil pan gasket.
Yay.
Which situation is, doesn't matter which one of those it is, the motor has to come out. So what are we fixing to do?
We're fixing to rip this bad boy out and put a new rear main seal in and pan gasket.
Do we have a lift to help with that?
Nah.
Alright, so we're Harbor Freight jack stands that are the recalled ones that we haven't taken back.
Yep.
A Harbor Freight jack and some 25-year-old Craftsman jack stands. Yep.
We got
That's
this.
fine. Yeah. So that's what we're fixing to do, which we got backup plan sitting here ready to go, and backup plan may still be in effect even if we fix this car, because if it looks like it's going to rain excessively all week, we are wiperless, which Rain X will do that. We're not all that worried about it, but you know, door seals, they're not really, you know, up to par. So something about sitting in a wet car for a week driving through the rain doesn't sound all that appealing, and that thing's pretty solid. So,
and it's got comfy seats and air conditioning,
cruise control, overdrive. So, you know, and it's proven. We could switch you over from 12.0 to NA small block and see how she do, but you know, instead
we're gonna thrash on this thing.
Yep. Yeah, we were gonna do a nice little loading up video and everything once we get to that point, and everything's gonna be chill and Chevette. So lucky for the 5 people that want to watch anything that we do, you're fixing to get a time lapse and video of us pulling a 4.3 liter out of a Chevette and resealing this deal. So
really quickly.
Yeah, hopefully really quickly. I'd like to have this done today, but what time is it? Like 9:45?
No, it's 10:06.
10:06. Fantastic. Are we calling any times?
Like when we get it done?
At least get the motor out. I would like to have the motor out by noon.
Yeah.
Are we shooting for 2 hours on pulling the motor out?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, 2 hours.
All right, guys. See you at 4 when we get this motor out. Get it out?
Yeah.
It's hanging. And what time is it?
Like 12:30.
12:30. So it's been out for a minute. I've already used half a case of brake cleaner on it. Trying to get it all cleaned off, but pretty sure the old rear main seal was our leak here. The pan, you see I like silicone, which it looks like I missed a little bit putting it on there, but I don't think the pan was leaking. Pan looks pretty dry, and everybody can hate on my silicone. I'm sure that's coming, but you know, typically it doesn't leak. So I think that's the situation there. All of this over here was pretty saturated. There was a whole bunch in here. This had it dripping out of it, so I'm pretty sure that's kind of what we got going on. So we had to run to Summit anyway to get some stuff, so we're probably going to stop at O'Reilly's or Summit, see what they got for rear main seal. Probably going to go ahead and pull my 4 tubes of silicone and pan gasket off, try to reseal that deal since we've already got it out. We'll put it on the engine stand here in a minute, flip it over after we drain the oil and stuff out of it. But yeah, 2.5 hours to get the motor out of it. It wouldn't have been as bad if we had remembered all the stupid little shortcuts and stuff that you got to do to pull that motor out.
It probably also wouldn't have been so bad if when we put it in, if we wouldn't have
Yeah.
put the bell housing bolts in with the impact.
Yeah.
I think I spent
Well,
45 minutes on one bolt and I
we-
didn't even get it out.
We were pretty tight on the old bell housing bolts, but the old Circle D converter, the custom painted transmission
Which is coated
in there, if you can kind of see that.
Iron.
But yeah, it's covered in oil, but
So we're going to get everything cleaned up.
either way, we are this far. Probably get the motor plate out and clean it up because it's got crap all over it.
Yeah.
But we're going to
Phil.
set this thing on a stand, run to O'Reilly's, and I guess we'll catch up with you later. We're going to try to get this thing back in today.
We've already come this far,
Yeah,
so
if we gotta go to Summit, that's gonna burn 3 hours probably by the time you get there. Hour there, hour back, and then who knows how long.
If we go to Summit, it's probably not happening today. If we go to O'Reilly's, we can probably get it done.
98 Astro van.
And a marine
Yeah.
oil pan.
Pan gasket should be the same though. I may even have a pan gasket.
We might. We need
I
to
had
look
some
in
extra
our
stuff.
stash over there.
Anyway, 2.5 hours later, motor is out, and I'm hungry, so
I'm starving.
we're gonna go grab some food and a rear main seal, and yep, we'll check in with you later. So we are back from Summit. It's pretty late in the afternoon, actually. What time it is? Oh yeah, 6:30. So we stopped and had a little bit of food, and then trip to Summit. You know, even if you do the pre-order pickup thing, it's normally a pretty long process getting parts. So we got all the spare stuff we were going to take with us, plus everything to fix this situation. I think we kind of figured out what it is. Gonna see a gap a little bit at the top of that seal, and then it's kind of folded up underneath. It's almost like this bracket wasn't exactly centered, and then we put the seal on. I don't know exactly how we did that whenever we did it the first time, so I'm thinking that's probably what happened. But either way, we got a pan gasket, we got a rear main seal, and then the gasket and everything for the retainer. So we're gonna go ahead and flip this deal over here in a minute and go ahead and put a pan gasket on it since we got it, you know, pretty accessible. Put the rear main seal in it, and we're probably gonna let it sit overnight to go ahead and let all the silicone kind of cure and all that good stuff, and probably come out here tomorrow after work and stab that deal in. We got a little bit of heat type stuff we're working on. This is some DEI tape, and then this is some more heat shield, just another brand of tape. We had some problems last year with the floor getting hot. Bought some of this too. That's supposed to help wrap that actually around the header, and well, the header's hanging down, you can see it. Wrap that around the outside of the header that also has wrap on it, because this thing is not meant for a V6, and the headers pretty much run into the floor. So hopefully some of that stuff will help out. Spare fuel pump, spare coil, stuff like that we've got to take with us. It's got a Mazira remote water pump on it, so if that thing dies on the road, we're pretty much done. You can't fit a actual front mount water pump on this thing with the fan and radiator setup we got without cutting the core support more. And this thing's pretty much a stock body Chevette. It is mini tubbed, but other than that, it's a true Chevette. So I don't really want to cut anything up if I don't absolutely have to. So the core support's not cut or anything other than around where the cap goes over there. So we got this deal sitting here ready to go. She's already hit it with some tub of towels and got all the crap that was in here cleaned up, and yeah, we're gonna get this thing flipped over on a stand here in a minute, get the pan off of it, get my 9 tubes of silicone off of it, which you know, I don't know if you noticed or not here, but there's 4 tubes of it ready to go back together. So we'll get this thing rolling. Well, here we are, Monday afternoon. Just got off work, come rolling outside here. We didn't get it done last night. Got the new rear main seal put in it, looks great. And Man, I don't know what the situation was with this oil pan gasket, but just wasn't having it yesterday. I tried, I don't know how much random stuff. I mean, pretty much tried to lay on top of the pan to push it down. At one point I had a ratchet strap around the engine trying to pull it down to make it seat on the motor. I couldn't do it. I couldn't get bolts in every corner of it. So I have a couple ideas, something we're going to try this afternoon. I've got silicone just, I mean, everywhere from trying to mess with this thing over and over and over and over and over again last night. So I've got a lot of cleaning to do. That's supposed to be a reusable gasket, but with all the silicone that it's got on it, and how nice and gentle I was with it for however long last night. Krista just ran to town to grab another one. Luckily it's 92 Chevrolet truck, Astro van, Blazer, whatever, it's same pan gasket, so it was readily available at O'Reilly's. So she ran and picked that up real quick, and as soon as she gets back, hopefully we'll get this pan thrown on here. I think I'm going to try to use those cheesy little blue plastic deals here come with the pan gasket, so maybe I can screw those in and at least get the pan to sit and settle. It's not like a normal aftermarket pan. It's got these stupid support rail deals that go on both sides, which make this a whole lot of fun, because not only do you have to get the bolt through the pan and the gasket into the block, but you have to get it through that thing too. And as you can see, this one fits really good. I'm gonna go ahead and set this thing back over here to the side and let y'all watch us clean all of this stuff all over again, and then try to put the pan gasket on it again. And with any luck, that will be sitting in there this afternoon.
Well, we are now tightening up the bolts on the oil pan.
Progress.
We figured out the issue.
That was stupid.
So when we took the pan off and took the old gasket off, there was, what was it? This little...
So it's a Velcro rubber gasket, but it's got these little metal inserts, like so.
Little bitty tiny things.
To keep you from crushing the gasket and over tightening it. Well, when I pulled the original gasket off, that stayed on the studs on the back, and then I tried to put a new gasket on top, which has the exact same thing, which put about a 1/4 inch space in the back there where the pan would not go down, and I just flat couldn't figure out why, that nothing fit right. And back to, I use silicone. That little deal was covered in silicone, so
A lot of silicone.
I just didn't, I don't know. No excuse other than I didn't catch it. So, we wasted 2.5, 3 hours last night, and I was throwing things, all because I wasn't paying attention. So,
we got it on.
another life lesson. If you get to that point where you're mad and you're starting to throw things, step away for a minute. Come back. Reassess. So, that's what we did today. I come out here and got it cleaned up. She showed up with a pan gasket. We did use our fancy little blue don't even know what you call those. Pan positioning utensils.
Yeah, whatever those things
And
are.
that
Those helped a lot.
it actually helped a whole lot hold the gasket in place in the front, because yesterday I've got a Summit brand timing cover on this thing and it didn't fit all that well. So I think that helped us a whole lot. Removing the, you know, 1/2-inch spacer we had built into the back there, taking that out helped a lot.
Definitely.
So, yep, rear main seal's in it. Pan is on it with a new gasket.
And more silicone.
More silicone.
So
Nobody tell Wayne Pratt I put silicone on this motor.
I guess we'll finish getting this tightened up, and
I'd like to have it in the car today. I don't know if we'll have it run today or not, but it's still fairly early. I think it's only like 5:30, 6 o'clock, so
we'll see what happens.
all right, where are we at?
We got flex plate on. We got new oil filter on. We got the motor plate down back in there. We got the inside of the transmission all cleaned out because it was coated in oil. It was nasty.
We ready to stab that thing in there?
I hope so. Yes.
You don't seem all that enthused.
I mean, are we ready?
We're ready. Obviously, we gotta, you know, pull our little Hibbley transmission holder there in case our nice jack bleeds down. Believe it or not, jack did not bleed down.
It's a nice jack.
It is a nice jack. I ran that jack over with that Camaro when I was in high school at one point, and I had to go borrow somebody else's jack to jack the car up and get that out from underneath it. In my pet spot at Texas Raceway. History.
Yeah.
All right then. Well,
I guess let's get to it.
we're fixing to throw a motor in this thing. Well,
Motor is in the car.
it's in there.
We got the transmission bolted up.
Yep, bell housing bolts are in it. Still got to put the converter bolts in.
Header bolts.
Yep, hook the headers back up, hook the exhaust back up.
Yeah. And then just finish hooking everything back up. I think the exhaust and the doing the header bolts is our biggest task.
May run to the store and get some distilled water, put in it. Run over at the Dollar General.
That's probably a good idea, so we don't put our hard godly water in there.
Yeah. So, gotta go get some water. Throw the carburetor on it, distributor cap, put a set of plugs in it. Just hook everything up, really.
Fluids.
Yeah, we gotta put oil in it.
Yeah.
I think we need to write that on a piece of blue tape and put it on the valve cover, like professionals do.
Probably. We could just get a, Sharpie and write on the car like Finnegan and Freiberger do.
Yeah, well, we should have done that with a Sharpie on the wall or something to mark off everything that we're doing to make sure we were legitimately getting it done, but
We could have.
I feel like we're doing all right.
I think so, for as quick of a turnaround as we have done here.
Yeah. Was it 8:15 or so tonight?
Yeah.
I think I got out here like 5.
I got back at 5:05, so.
Okay, I just gotten out here not too long before you got here, because all I did was pull the pan off, and I might have got out here 4:30, 4:45. I don't remember.
So about 3 hours. We got everything cleaned up.
Yeah.
Gasket back on, and
We should be driving this deal tomorrow, fairly early. Yep.
yeah. So.
Welcome to Raceweek.
Yeah. Hashtag Raceweek.
But I guess that's gonna call it a night for us.
Dinner
On
time.
Tuesday, yeah, it's time to eat. So we're gonna get this thing wrapped up, fired up tomorrow night. We'll go cruise it around, make sure all of it's good to go. All right, here we are, Tuesday. Just got off work, coming out here. Got the gloves on, and we're gonna finish this deal up. We came out here at lunch today and worked on it a little bit, and pretty much got the top end of it buttoned up. Carburetor's on it, distributor cap is on. We're gonna put the headers on it, then put the plugs in it. Run the spark plug wires. We've got water in it. We've got all the radiator hoses hooked up. We've actually already filled the radiator up with water, and got that all pretty much ready to go there. Alternator is hooked up tight, belt's all set up. So we've got the exhaust hanging down. We're gonna hook that up and hook the headers up and all that. We should be ready to roll here in, what do you think, hour or so?
Hopefully.
Maybe a couple, depending on how hard the exhaust is going to be.
Yeah, I'm hoping that this exhaust does not fight us.
Well, we're probably going to take our time on the exhaust situation and try to keep it from leaking. See if we can seal the exhaust up best we can. So
Yeah.
we got a little bit of a thunderstorm rolling in here. So
Yeah, so we may have a test drive in the rain.
yeah, probably swap and put the street tires back on it.
That's probably a good idea.
Mainly because I don't want to have to polish those back wheels again and get water on them.
I know.
So we will get back after it.
Well, it's 6:07 and we got the exhaust hooked up. We got all of our wires under the car hooked back up. John is currently under the car zip tying up some spark plug wires and stuff so those don't get in the way of the headers. What else did we finish?
Everything.
We finished everything.
Everything and stuff.
So we're gonna spray off underneath the car, make sure that we get all of the residual off from underneath there. And then I guess double check over everything and then cross our fingers and fire it up.
I missed my deadline.
You missed your deadline?
I said I was going to have this thing running by 6.
It's 6:07 when I looked at the clock.
Missed it.
So, we're still doing good on time. It's not that bad. We're going to get these spark plug wires zip tied up, get the car cleaned off underneath, and then get this thing fired up.
Will you start this thing?
I'm scared. But yeah.
It's probably gonna smoke since we had it upside down. Turn the just turn the key on and turn the fuel pump on for a second. Let it build fuel pressure. Make sure we don't have any more tubes hanging in it. Shut up. Okay. Yeah. You might just turn the ignition on, see if it's started. You probably have to spin it over. Yeah.
Well, we fired it up. And we got no oil pressure.
It's got 25 pounds.
Okay, it's got 25 pounds of oil pressure.
I think that's it's got an electric sending unit on it. We resealed it, and I wasn't really sold on it to begin with. So I actually, to the point where there's a spare one laying in the floor over there that I was going to put on it. And I thought, no, it's fine. While it's out and easy to get to, I'm just going to put the old one back on. So I think that's all that is, because there's not really, we didn't really do anything to affect oil pressure. We didn't take anything apart with the oil pump. We didn't take any caps off, didn't take nothing off. So I'm betting that's probably what the issue is there. This alternator deal has kind of got me scratching my head. It's a pretty hokey setup to begin with, but for some reason I can't get it tight enough now. So
We don't know. So we're gonna figure that out.
gotta do some more rigging and then swap an oil pressure sensor, I guess.
And then try again. So stick around for take 2.
I think we got it. It's been a long night.
Long night.
It's 9:45.
It's been a long day.
It's been a long day. So we had 25 pounds of oil pressure. Could not figure out why. I swapped the electric sensor for the odometer oil pressure gauge. Did not fix it. I let the car sit here and run, got it up to like 180, and just it wasn't knocking, rattling, or anything like that. It has 25 pounds, so I figured that was fine for idling at 900 RPMs. Just see if it was something goofy with the fact that the hydraulic lifters, the motor's been hung upside down on an engine stand for 2 days. Maybe it bled the lifters off, and I don't know, something goofy. So we let it sit there and run. Didn't fix anything, but I was going to adjust the rocker arms on it, and I didn't do it the other day, so I decided that I was going to go ahead and do it because sounded like one was really, really loose. So pulled the valve cover off, and I always set these with them running. I never have good luck trying to set them without the car running on the hydraulic stuff. So cranked the car up, and I'm going through the rocker arms, and I get to one of them that is pretty loose. So I tighten it up and, run through the rest of them. All the rest of them look pretty good. Shut the car off, clean everything up, put the valve cover back on, and crank it up. We got 50 pounds of oil pressure. You rev it up, and it goes to 75 pounds. Only thing we did was run the valves. So I sat and thought about it a little bit, and I called my buddy Wayne that built this motor and asked why I was stupid and what I was missing. we sat there and talked about it for a little bit, and he brought up the fact that we had to swap lifters when we built this motor because the skirt on the lifter was actually short compared to what this motor, I guess, needed, because it was dumping, when the lifter would come up, it would dump all the oil pressure. So we actually had an oil pressure issue with this thing when we were trying to prime it before I even took it from his place. So we figured that out, swapped lifters in it to a full skirted lifter, and haven't had that issue. So the only thing I can figure is the lifter had bled down and was collapsed and was pushed up enough that it was allowing it to bypass the oil. I don't know. It's been a long day. Like I said, we're speculating, but whatever it is, we've got oil pressure now. We've let it run 2 or 3 times to get to heat cycle where the fan comes on at 180. Let it cool off. As of right now, we don't have any oil leaks.
Got the alternator. Well, we think we got that belt situation kind of figured out for right now. For now. It's fine.
It's probably going to be a permanent fix. And all we did was put a new belt on it, and it doesn't squeak.
It's better than what it was.
At times.
And we're going to just roll with it for now.
Yeah. Yeah, so my dad's actually going to get me a belt that's a 1/2 inch shorter tomorrow. And I don't know if that's going to get put on before we go or not. We may just deal with a squeal. It doesn't squeal unless you go from nothing to wide open, like real fast, where it puts a lot of load on it. So, yeah, it is what it is. We take spare belts, so if it tries to chunk a belt, we'll figure it out on the road, because I'd much rather try to figure out the solution to our problems on the side of the highway in the middle of the night than I would in this shop right now. So,
yeah, because race week.
It's kind of our thought. Anyway, that's it for, what is tonight? Tuesday night.
Tuesday, yep.
Tuesday night, that's it. Motor's back in, car runs, sounds good. So hopefully we'll have this thing on the ground tomorrow, and we'll get a little video cruising around. Maybe.
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 Well, it's Wednesday. It's after 7. We had a lot of rain today, so we
actually ate dinner.
Yeah, we're just now getting out here. So we are gonna clear a path. So we can get the car out. We gotta put it down on the ground because it's still up on jack stands. But
a little bit of a late night last night, but we got everything we think right.
Yeah, I think so. So
stupid oil pressure issues and
yeah.
everything else.
So we're going to go test drive it.
Yeah, it's actually kind of sprinkling right now, so we're probably gonna have to hit the old Rain-X.
Yeah, we're gonna have to test that deal out. We have never driven this car in the rain. So
nope.
That might be interesting. But I guess we're gonna get everything out of the way so we can get this out of here. You got anything else you want to say?
Appreciate all the people coming to help us
Yeah.
get this thing done.
Yeah.
The amount of people out here has just been insane. We had to start charging for parking over there. We did have people offer to come help.
We did.
My dad showed up last night.
Yeah, he did.
I mean, he showed up after the work was already done, but he did show up.
He did. He showed up. It was pretty late when he got here, too.
Yeah.
And he drove the Firebird in the rain.
In the rain.
So that was an accomplishment.
I'm assuming he made it back home. I hadn't heard from him today.
That's a good point. So we're going to get this thing off jack stands, get it on the ground, and go cruise it around a little bit. And
we have got to show off our Amazon Raceweek necessities.
Oh yeah, we'll get you caught up on our amazing Amazon products. Yeah. I think a couple of our things are in the house.
Gotta fake it till you make it, and I pride myself on finding ways to do things all the cool kids are doing, but at like a third of the price or less. In our case, on this situation, like
way cheaper.
wow,
But it's pretty cool.
like a 30th of the price.
Yeah, so we'll have to get those out here and we'll show you those because they are pretty cool. So we're gonna get this thing on the ground, go drive it around, and then we'll show you all our cool stuff. Well, I think we're about ready to go on our drive. We got the air cleaner on so we don't get rain in our carburetor because it is still kind of sprinkling. John got the windows wiped down with the Rain-X. Gotta check the fuel in the car. We don't have a fuel gauge.
Yeah, we do.
Well, we do. Okay, this is our.
Oh, it's good. I see fuel down in there. We're good. Look at that. Oh yeah, look, it's almost full. Yeah, we're good. 100,000 miles. That's fine.
Oh.
Gonna have to get another one of those now.
Oh my gosh. All right. Well, I guess we are going to hit the road. Here we go. We'll make our first test drive.
So we made back from our first drive. It was relatively quick. I kind of wanted to come back and check it out before we put too many miles on it. So what did we drive? 5 miles? 4 or 5?
Probably.
Did great. 160, 170 degrees. Just cruising along. The Rain-X situation wasn't the best because we weren't going very fast, but we could still see.
Yeah, it worked.
So
Car did good.
we're not necessarily seasoned veterans on this Raceweek situation, but this will be our third one. And along the way, we feel like we have kind of learned a few things that we want to spread the wealth on. So if you're a drag and drive person, thought about being a drag and drive person, you could use these things pretty much. You don't even have to do race car things. You could just have a loud car or work in the dark. So
Whatever, you know.
we're going to go to the first thing that I have figured out for our drag and drive vehicle here. So this is an 84 Chevette. It has provisions for a dome light. However, sometime between, when did we buy this car? 2019, 18, something like that?
19, I believe.
Somewhere between 84 and then somebody removed the dome light. Therefore, no dome light. Well, it gets difficult to try to navigate throughout the inside of the car at night because it gets dark.
Real dark.
So this was number one thing that I wanted to look into. So I got on Amazon and I found a dome light. It is properly and securely mounted in the vehicle. So we're going to go ahead and flip this thing around here and let you check that deal out. I don't know if you can see it because it's dark in here, but it's one of them light switch closet light situations. It looks like a wall switch. I think that was $6. We got it securely attached with a couple zip ties.
10 out of 10 on the installation.
Oh yeah. So, number one. Number two is this car has an odometer speedometer in it. However, it is set up for a gear drive on the back of the tail housing for the Turbo 350, which is not in there. So it was buy another odometer gauge with the GPS stuff, which was what, $450, or buy all the stuff and put it back on the tail housing, whatever. Last year we just suction cupped our phones to the windshield and used the GPS navigation deal to see the speed. No, they're Amazon fine, guys. I think it was $24.
Yeah.
Check this bad boy out. Suction cupped to the window, navigation, GPS type situation to do your speed. Plugs into the cigarette lighter there. And it was actually pretty accurate, wasn't it?
Yes, it was. I pulled up the GPS on my phone, and it has a speedometer on it, and I compared it to the little speedometer on the dash there, and it was spot on.
All right, there you have it. We're up to about $30 right now, and we have got a speedometer and a dome light. So next thing we're going to talk about is there was a couple tracks we went to on Raceweek 2.0 last year, and it got dark. It got real dark. They shut the lights off at Mid-America when we were in the middle of changing tires, and we literally had no light.
We finished changing the tires in the dark.
Complete dark.
Not an easy task.
And then we also we were kind of pitted a little bit out in the middle of nowhere at Noble, and it got pretty dark out there too. Motorplex in Tulsa had pretty good lighting, but either way, we were stuck switching tires in the dark. So I got creative. Another Amazon find. Can you hold that while I please demonstrate this situation?
Sure.
You gotta have your hat on. Motion Race Works. It's a Raceweek sponsor. And all of a sudden you just get this light here. Look at this, guys. Clamps on your hat, and oh, it's got two levels, guys.
Oh gosh.
Is it dark or is it real dark?
You're blinding the people.
I'm telling you what, you can see everything you're looking at right there. So, really bright.
Let's get a close-up on the clamps on your hat.
Yeah, this clampola right there.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna be honest with you. I feel like I kind of overpaid on these deals. $19 for two of them.
For two, though.
So, but I feel like that's gonna be a lifesaver if it gets dark, or even if we're on the side of the road. Like if something happens and it's dark and we're having to work on this thing on the side of the road.
Yeah.
Then we'll be able to see. All right. So now we're at somewhere around $50. Now we're gonna go to the biggest, most awesome idea I can't even take credit for. However, I stole it from a guy who does drag and drive with Chevette. So
Chevette people.
I forgot the guy's name, but it's like the orangish yellow one with the LS motor in it.
I don't.
It runs real fast. Anyway,
I don't remember his name either.
one of the Facebook pages, somebody was talking about the like the rugged radios, the ATV radios that everybody wears in the cars, because one, they're so loud, and we experienced this last year. This car blew some of the exhaust gaskets out where the muffler goes to the exhaust pipe goes to the header, and it got loud. And by the end of the week, we were yelling at each other because we couldn't hear.
Yeah, people were trying to talk to us, and we couldn't hear, and we were like yelling at them when we were talking because it was bad.
Like the guy that doesn't speak English, or the old people that can't hear. Just,
yeah.
yeah.
That was us.
We looked into the rugged radio deal. It was like $1,500 and up. There were some people that said that they'd done some of the aircraft stuff with the little, I forget what they call it, little box you plug your headphones in, and they did all that. And then Chevette guy.
He saved the day.
He saved the day. He said that they have used an app. It's a communication app on your phone. You download, and it's basically where you can join a chat room type deal, but it's a voice chat. So he said both people in the car download that app, and You just get some gaming like Xbox headphones, pair them to your phone, join that chat, and you can talk to each other. So here we are. I mean, I'm not gonna say that they don't look a little bit goofy, but
they're really comfortable.
they work great. So we haven't tested them out like driving down the road in the car, but we have tested them out a few different times.
Running around the house.
They're noise canceling. I think these were on Amazon for $32 a pair. So we got two of those. So we're roughly $100, $110 in all of our little Raceweek cheapo
Amazon goodies.
Yeah. And I think it's going to make a big difference. So we're going to take the car back out here in a minute. I think we're going to put the headphones on and try out the headphone app situation. So stay tuned, because we may be coming back to tell you that they didn't work. But
or they're the best thing ever.
they probably are the best thing ever. I mean, who else drives around in a Chevette with Xbox headphones on?
We're about to.
So that's all of our Raceweek secrets for the most part. So I'm going to check this thing out, make sure there's nothing leaking underneath it, make sure everything looks good, and then we're probably going to go take a 10-15 mile drive. It's supposed to be pretty nasty weather tomorrow. I know we're possibly going to be driving in the rain next week, but I don't really want to go drive around in the middle of a thunderstorm just for something to do, because I think the car is going to be fine as far as the water goes and driving and stuff like that. So we're going to go hit the road for another little quick cruise, and we'll let you. All right, so we put about 15 miles on the old Chevette tonight in the rain and survived. The car survived. As of right now, I didn't see any leaks. All of our Amazon gadgets actually worked out pretty good.
Yeah.
So we're pretty impressed with that.
A++ on the headphones.
Yep, speedometer was good.
Yep.
So.
Dome light. Awesome.
Yep. So, this was the video we weren't expecting to make, because, you know, we were just going to do our whole day zero, loading up, heading there, and instead we ended up having to pull the motor out. So, hopefully the mechanical aspect of this deal is done. Car's ready to go. I feel like we're in a pretty good spot now compared to where we were. So, that's going to cut it for this video. We will we'll go ahead and do some more videos loading up and heading up there and stuff. Probably won't be quite as involved and detailed as the last race week we did, the Rocky Mountain Race Week video, because we don't really have that much of an exciting drive or anything going up there. So yeah, we'll get all that together though. So stay tuned, and thanks for watching.